Tabletop Tavern is one of those games that sounds immediately dangerous if you like strategy, roguelite management, and that deeply unhealthy phrase, just one more run. The pitch is basically Slay the Spire meets Total War, and then they decided to plop it in a fantasy tavern for good measure. You got factions, runs, upgrades, choices, tavern management, and enough optimization to make your evening disappear. This is our Should You Buy series where we take a look at a game and tell you if it is worth parting with the cash. I spent around 20 hours in the game so far, and I'm going to unpack everything about Tabletop Tavern for you. Does it have the depth, variety and customization to keep you hooked long term? Before we get into it, if you do enjoy gaming content like this without the usual hype, consider liking the video and subscribing to the channel. Right then, let's talk about Tabletop Tavern and whether or not you should buy it. Now, of course, when I say Slay the Spire meets Total War, I mean in a very conceptual way. It's not literally either of those games. You're not amassing giant armies across a grand strategic map, and you're not building a card deck, making your maths goblin inside of you clap his hands. The Slay the Spire DNA comes from the run structure. You make choices reacting to what the game gives you, and slowly learn how the different factions want to be played, and that bit really grabs me, because after a few runs you stop thinking what does this do and start thinking how can I abuse this mechanic. And the Total War side is you have this strategic map in which you play out an RTS battle on, and this is what makes Tabletop Tavern more interesting than it first appears. Once you get by the immediate charm of the game, you move towards properly unpacking in your mind everything around efficiency, what route to take, faction identity, and then how to build on each run and make it more successful than the last. And this is where the game is excelling. So let's start with the things this game does well, the good. For me, the biggest strength is its replayability. By my second run, I was already spotting mistakes from my first one and thinking, right, what if I did this instead? And this is exactly what you want from this kind of game. In the beginning, you'll find yourself reacting to what the run gives you, but fairly quickly you start shaping your runs more deliberately, thinking about what route will you take with your army, how is it going to be composed, unit upgrades, faction strengths, and how all of this will fit together. And the factions are a big part of this. Across the 9 factions there is a fantastic amount of flavour and variation. They're not just small stat bonuses with different banners. The Sanguine Court, for example, leans into this undead identity, allowing you to create more units more easily post-battle, and it helps you rank up your units faster, since 3 of the same unit can combine into a higher quality with them, and it gives that faction a very clear rhythm. The Sakura Dynasty was another one that stood out to me, with their strong melee scaling and some great ranged options that I picked up along the way. This mixing and matching of your army as your run develops is a big part of the fun. Units also have their own abilities and effects, so it's not all about stacking numbers. You're thinking about morale, damage, upgrades, and how different pieces will support each other. One run might be a giant dinosaur themed run, while another will lean into more high finesse warriors. And the variety gives the game some tactical texture. I also like the fact that progression can carry over between runs. Gold earned during a campaign can be spent back at the tavern, giving you persistent effects and a meaningful sense that each attempt is building towards something. And more importantly, this is a proper 1.0 release. It's not early access, there's going to be no paid DLC plan, and upcoming features are intended to be included as part of the roadmap. It feels like a well thought out launch with the player in mind, which is very refreshing right now. Presentation wise, it lands very well too. UI is clean, the theme is strong throughout, and I really like little touches like angling the camera to see the players around the tavern board. It reinforces the tabletop vibe very nicely. So the biggest compliment I can give Tabletop Tavern is I haven't played anything quite like it. It's addictive, it rewards experimentation, it gives strategy players, roguelite fans, and optimization goblins plenty to chew on. Now, before we get into the caveats, if you're finding something useful here, consider liking the video and subscribing to the channel. We cover a lot of games across many genres here. Alright, enough of that, let's get back into the video. Now for the bad side of things, and honestly this isn't going to be a section where I'm going to sit here and pick at the nitty gritty and pretend this game is broken, because it simply isn't. My main criticism is variety over time. After about 20 hours, I did feel the tactical variety dip, not the unit variety, but the tactical. And that might be partly in fact because I'm still learning the deeper edges of the systems, but I would like to see more map setups, more locations, and more event variety to keep runs feeling fresher for longer, and just being able to do more on the RTS side of things. Because once you start recognizing the map locations and understanding what you need from a run, the planning becomes a bit formula. And I touched on this just previously, but the battles are also quite light, and maybe deliberately so. This isn't necessarily a problem, but it's something buyers should understand. If you come in expecting a Total War style of battle, it's not that. The Total War comparison is useful for the broader flavour of the RTS setup, but you're not microing your cavalry charges and watching your frontline collapse because one unit had a funny wobble. It's a roguelite strategy game first. You're going to need to enjoy the core loop of runs, choices, upgrades, faction identity, and then the optimization that comes with that. If this sort of loop doesn't grab you, the lighter battles probably won't carry the game on their own. But I see things on the roadmap like a planned magic system, and this seems like a very natural addition. It fits the theme, but more importantly could add more layers of strategic variety and give runs a few more unexpected turns. So my main caveat is simple. Tabletop Tavern has a strong foundation, but I would like to see more events, more locations, and a bit more variety on the tactical side to hold up the long-term run structure. So the question, should you buy Tabletop Tavern? For me, it's a yes, but of course have the right expectations. If you like strategy roguelikes, faction-based replayability, optimizing those runs, and you have a curious mind that likes to learn something and build upon that knowledge, I think Tabletop Tavern is a very easy game to recommend. After around 20 hours, I still feel like there is more for me to learn, more factions to properly unpack, and ways to refine how I approach things. It also helps that this game is launching into a proper 1.0 release, not early access with an upcoming roadmap, no DLC future plans, and the whole thing just has a very player-friendly feel that a lot of modern launches don't have. So my verdict ultimately is simple. Tabletop Tavern is a buy for strategy players, roguelike fans, and optimization lovers alike who want something genuinely different. It's charming, it's addictive, it has a strong foundation, and while I do want to see more locations, events, and variety added over time, what is already here had me hooked immediately, and I'm still playing it now, and I really think that's the best compliment I can give it. Alright guys, let me know what you think about this game in the comments below. Let me know if there's any other games you want me to review, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye bye now.